Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video because I finally have the Louis Vuitton Beauty items in my possession. This launch has been anticipated for so long. It really has. As a beauty lover, a luxury lover, I knew that when this collection came out, I had to get some pieces from the collection. Now I will be honest, I was surprised that I was able to get anything because usually when they have big launches, aka the Murakami collection, it is so hard to get items on the first day. And I was able to go on the app and I was able to order one makeup item from each category. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any of the small other goods. I did really want that little lipstick pouch in the monogram, even though it was exorbitantly priced. I really did want that item. And then they also had a cute little Nice lipstick case, which was super cute as well. But I opted to get one makeup item from each category. So I have a balm, I have a lipstick, and I have the eyeshadow palette. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you a description of each. I'm going to tell you the price. I'm going to tell you my thoughts, and we are going to test all of these items out. And I'll be honest, at first I was like, oh, do I really want to test them out, or do I just want to kind of hold on to them for collector's pieces? And I thought, no, there are a lot of people out there that are curious about this, but they don't want to waste their hard-earned money until they know how this wears. So that is what I am here for today. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get right into it. I might look a little funny. I don't have any eyeshadow on my eyes today because I do have an eyeshadow palette and we're going to try the eyeshadow on together. Now, I will be doing overlays. I do already have some thoughts because this is not a true unboxing. I did already open it. Another thing too is I tried really hard not to watch any other videos on this because I really want to make sure that my opinion of this is authentic and I can really give you my true thoughts. A lot of influencers were very blessed and they had this sent to them. I did not. This is my hard-earned money. I will tell you the price once we get to each piece. So okay, that was a pretty long introduction. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it. So I ordered this through the app online and this is how it came. It came in this Louis Vuitton bag, and then on the inside all of my items were packaged in here. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to start with the Louis Vuitton eyeshadow palette. I am so excited about this. This is the Vuitton Ombre eyeshadow. Now, the cool thing about this, there were 8 different palettes. There were quite a few shades that were sold out, but luckily I was able to get a neutral palette. Again, I knew if I was going to invest the money, I wanted to get a neutral palette, so it could be an eyeshadow palette that I could wear quite a bit. If you're familiar with this collection, I'm sure you're aware that Pat McGrath is the creative director for this. So when I heard that, I was so incredibly excited because if you're familiar with Pat McGrath, her eyeshadows are so incredibly pigmented. They are just beautiful. So Pat McGrath, Louis Vuitton, you can't go wrong. So anyway, so here is the first one, and I will be inserting overlays. The one I got was 150 Beige Memento. So it comes in this type of packaging. Just a regular cardboard box. It has the LV logos embossed on the top. And I will tell you, the first thing I noticed, I was blown away by the packaging. Here is the beautiful packaging. It is black and then it has the gold LV logo. It's got the monogram motif embossed in it. This is a really sturdy, heavy packaging. So obviously a lot of money right off the bat went into the packaging. Really nice. Another really cool thing is on the back, there is this little button here that you can push, and that's going to enable you to insert refills. So these are refillable compacts, which is great. So here is the compact. These are the beautiful shades. So I got 150. So keep in mind, name is not on the bottom here, but this is a very neutral palette. So you can see right off the bat it has the LV logo there. And this will pop open so you can insert the refills, but this is a beautiful palette. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert some swatches. You have a really nice white shade, you have this shade which can be used as a transition shade in the crease, and I will demonstrate this for you. You have this color right here which is a beautiful copper, and that's going to be a good lid shade. And then this one right here you can use on the outer corner to define the eyes, or you can use it on the lash line. So we are going to use both. So again, I am going to insert swatches. I did already swatch these, and here are my thoughts. Knowing that Pat McGrath was the creative director, I have to be honest, I expected better pigmentation. As you could see by the swatches in the overlays, it was a beautiful swatch, but it wasn't quite as pigmented. So I'm going to insert overlay of this Pat McGrath Labs. This is Divine Bronze. You're gonna see that the swatches are not really comparable. This palette is so incredibly pigmented. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes if an eyeshadow is too pigmented, it's not going to have that blendability factor. So that's not entirely a big deal. The more important part is how they apply to the eyes and how they blend. So we are going to try this today. So this claims that it's going to give you a 12-hour wear, which I would hope it would give you a 12-hour wear for the price. The price of this palette was $250. I have never in my life spent $250 on an eyeshadow palette before. I want to say, actually, this Pat McGrath Labs, this might have been the most I've paid, or I might have paid for like a larger palette, but for an actual quad to pay $250, you no doubt are paying for the Louis Vuitton name as well as the packaging, because there is no denying the packaging is stunning. So these shades are also, they also claim that these are going to be crease proof for 24 hours and very, very hydrating. Also, I want to point out, I did mention that you could refill these. The refills are $92. So even the refills are very pricey, but it's good to know you can refill. I am glad that they made this a refillable package because the packaging is so beautiful. So okay, I know I've jabbed a lot, but I'm really trying to make sure I share with you as much information as possible. So we are going to go ahead, we are going to test out this eyeshadow palette, and what I think I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this shade right here. I'm just going to put it on a brush, and we are just going to apply this from our lid all the way to the brow. So you can see this eye compared to that one, really pretty. This is going to set for like a nice base, and I'm already noticing it's going on really, really nicely. Some eyeshadows can go on a little patchy, but this is beautiful. And keep in mind, I am not a makeup artist by any means, so my application is probably not going to be perfect, but this is just a normal person doing their makeup. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's kind of like a taupey color. I get it on the brush. Not a ton is coming on the brush, but that's okay, as I stated, because we want to make sure it's blendable. So I'm just applying it to my crease and just going back and forth, trying to blend it nicely. And oh my gosh, I hate actually like getting this palette dirty. I want to try to keep it nice, but again, these products are meant to be worn. Okay, so there's not a ton of fallout, which is great. It's packed in there really nicely, and the key is to just blend. So far, I am noticing it's really, really blendable. So let's go and do the other. And I have my mirror. I guess I could try to use the viewfinder here, but I have my mirror on my little table here. Okay, so this is blending beautifully. So again, it goes into what I said earlier about sometimes if the eyeshadows are not super pigmented, that's good, because then it'll kind of lay on your eyes a little better. Okay, so there you have it, just a little bit. And you can, these are buildable, you can build more, but we're just kind of going really quick. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush, it's a little more tapered, and I'm going to take this darker color, and I'm just going to apply it to my outer crease a little bit, like the outer V. And what this is going to do is just help to define your eyes a little more. Okay, so you can see, and again, I'm just kind of doing this roughly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this beautiful color. This is a bronzy color. You can see it on my hand there. And then this is what I'm going to use on my lids. So again, not super pigmented if you're familiar with the regular Pat McGrath eyeshadow palettes. Okay, so what do you think? Again, I just did quick little eye look. This is a very, very neutral palette, so this type of eye look is going to be definitely like an everyday look. This is a good eye look if you're going to do more of like a bold lip. So you know, like at Christmas time, I like to use a red lip, so this would be good for that. So I would say they are blendable. They are nice. They're not quite as pigmented as I would have liked, especially this bronzy shade. Now you could probably spray your brush, but usually when you apply it with your finger, it is pretty pigmented, so it is pretty. But oh my gosh, that price, so expensive. So we're gonna move on, and what I'm gonna do is at the end, I am gonna kind of give you my final thoughts on everything and give you my recommendation on what I think you should get. So, okay, let's move on to the next item. I was really, really excited about this next item because I thought it would be like the biggest bang for your buck because it's a balm. Everybody loves to carry a balm in their purse. You can wear it every day, whereas sometimes with lipstick, you know, you change out your color of lipstick each day, so I feel like you might get a little more use out of the balm. So I was really excited about this. LV Balm, this retails for $160. That is absolutely insane. The most expensive balm I have purchased in the past is the Hermes lip balm, and I could not believe I was paying that price. So this is, again, pricey. You are paying for the name. The one that I got is 030, which is Tender Bliss. So let's go ahead and let's open it up. It comes in this white packaging here. And the packaging is really, really stunning. You have this white metal case, and then in the center you have the LV logo, the little flower motifs, really beautiful. On the top of the balm, I like it because you can see the color through the top. Now keep in mind, this is a little unique. The name of the shade is not on the bottom. Usually lipsticks or lip balms will have the name at the bottom, but all it says on the bottom is Louis Vuitton Paris. But I do love how there's the little flower motif, and you see how you can see the balm through. The packaging is very weighted, very, very luxurious, very simple. I like the fact that it's white. The only thing I kind of worry about with the packaging being white is I feel like if you touch it, you're going to get kind of like fingerprints on it. At least for me, I know if I'm doing my makeup, I'll touch it and then I'll have like foundation. Not a big deal, but really weighted. It opens like this. It has the magnetic closure. This is supposed to give you like a soft glow, very, very buildable coverage, and it's supposed to give you 48 hours of hydration as well as a smoothing effect. Now for this one as well, they do also offer the refill. So this is $160. If you get the refill, it's going to be $60. So not quite as expensive. The $60 refill is more comparable to Hermes, but this Louis Vuitton packaging is just a lot more. So really, really beautiful. Let's go ahead and let's try this out. This one in particular, it's like a pink and it has a little sparkle. Now I will insert a swatch. I was a little disappointed in this swatch because usually with a balm, if there's a hint of color to it, there'll be a little bit of a sheer color, but in this, the swatch almost didn't even like show up on my hand at all. So I was really disappointed for the price. Now maybe it's just the color that I got, but we're gonna go ahead and we're going to try it on my lips today and see how it goes. So the balm does not have the LV logo, which you will see when I share with you the lipstick. The lipstick does have the LV logo on the bullet. So this is just the balm. So let's go ahead, let's see how this applies. One thing I want to mention about this too is it does come in 10 different shades. I can't remember if I mentioned that earlier. Okay, I have it on my lips. No color payoff whatsoever, which I understand it is a balm, but I thought I would have a little bit of a pinky tint. It has a little bit of a waxy feeling, which I guess is kind of comparable to the Dior lip balm. But right off the bat, I'm going to have to say between this one and the Dior lip balm, which is like a third of the price, I like that one better. My lips are almost, they do feel hydrated. They do feel smooth. I definitely can feel that smoothing effect. So I agree with that. But I wish there was a little more of a hint of color. So I don't know, this one is super, super expensive for what you get. So I will come back to this one. Let's move on to the last item that I did pick up. I got the Rouge lipstick in 109, The Great Escape, and this is matte. Now keep in mind, they had matte and they also had satin lipsticks. I did initially want a satin lipstick, however, the color I wanted was already sold out, so I went for the matte. Okay, so this one retails for $160. It's actually the same price as the Balm, which that really surprised me. I actually expected the lipstick to be a little more expensive than the Balm because you actually get the color and the payoff, but that's okay. This was $160, and this actually comes in 55 shades, and as I mentioned, you can either select a matte lipstick or a satin. I initially wanted the satin, but again, the color I wanted, they were already sold out. So I got this one, Matte 109 Great Escape. Opens the same way as the Balm did in this little cardboard packaging. And this is absolutely beautiful. This one is a black metal case, and then you have the LV logo and the motif surrounding the center. Here is a quick little comparison between the two. Both very nice weighted cases. I definitely love the black, very chic. Similar to the Balm, you can see the color through the little floral motif at the top. I love that. But again, the color is not on the bottom. This lipstick, the magnetic closure, it opens like this, and this one is beautiful. This is a pretty mauve color, which if you know me, you know I'm going to go for the mauve tones. And then it has the LV logo. Do you see that? That is embossed on the lipstick. It also has a scent. I thought the scent would be a little overpowering because you know how some of the Louis Vuitton fragrances can be really potent. It is a combination of rose and jasmine, but scent is not too much for me. Like, you know how some scents can kind of affect you. This one, it smells nice, but it's not too overpowering. So I'm going to insert a swatch. So this swatched really beautifully. I think this is going to be really pretty. I'm so excited to try it out. So let's go ahead and do that together. So usually when I wear a lipstick, I do wear a lip liner. So I am going to use a lip liner. I tried to find one that was similar in color, and I have this from Huda Beauty. It's in muted pink. So let me go ahead and apply the lip liner, and then we'll put the lipstick over top. And this is a really pretty lip liner, so I'll link this down below in case you're interested, by Huda Beauty. It definitely lasts, whereas a lot of other lip liners I find will diminish throughout the day. Okay, so again, I didn't want to use this because I don't want to ruin it. It's so pretty, but I'm going to do it for you guys, okay? So let's go ahead and oh my goodness. I really, really like this color. I feel as though it's a really good everyday shade. Now, of course, this is going to transfer. It's not transfer proof lipstick, so let's see. Yeah, it does. It does transfer a little bit, not too bad, but this is a beautiful color, very comfortable on the lips. As I stated, it is a matte formula, so if you're someone who likes the matte look, I think you're going to love this. It feels so nice on the lips. It's really pigmented too, very buildable, and the description claims that it's going to give you 12-hour wear. A lot of times if you apply the liner, apply the lipstick, and then you kind of blot it a little bit, it will kind of give you that color payoff that will last. It's absolutely beautiful. I also love the fact that just like with the lip balm, what you can do is you can pop this out, and the refill for the lipstick is going to be $69. That's what I find a little interesting. So the refill for the lipstick is $69, but the price is $160. The balm, the price is $160, but the refill is $60. So I'm not really sure why the refill is more inexpensive for the balm, but yet they're the same overall price. But I really like this. Another thing I want to mention before I kind of get to my final thoughts, and I totally forgot to share this, but the lipstick and the balm, they each come with this cute little case. So this is a felt case. It says Louis Vuitton, and it has the little floral motif on the back, and you just pop it in like this so you can keep it in your purse. So the lipstick comes with it. You also get one for the balm, and then you also get this cute little pouch. Louis Vuitton has the floral motif. You get this for the eyeshadow as well. How pretty. And I do want to share, now I knew these came with this, but I didn't use them. You can if you like, but the eyeshadow palette also does come with two little brushes that say Louis Vuitton. Now I don't usually use the brushes that come with eyeshadow palettes. I just prefer to use my own, but just keep in mind that it does come with these. So that was a nice little addition. So like if you're traveling, you know that you can kind of protect the packaging. My final thoughts. Okay, let's start with the eyeshadow palette. The eyeshadow palette, the packaging, oh my gosh, so beautiful. I really think they did a good job with the packaging. This is going to look beautiful on your vanity. It is so stunning. But I will say, I was a little disappointed with the pigmentation. For $250 and for the fact that Pat McGrath was the creative director, I really expected the pigmentation to be similar to this eyeshadow palette, just my opinion. Now, did it blend well on the eyes? Yes. Was the color payoff okay? Yes. Do I think it's worth the $250? Again, it is subjective. It depends on the person. If you're a Louis Vuitton collector, I can understand. I am someone like that, so I knew I was going to purchase this. But for the normal day-to-day person, I would say you can get the same color payoff, the same pigmentation, and the same like beautiful packaging from like the YSL palette, right? This YSL palette in Store Dolls. I have used this so much. It is so stunning. You know, the colors are beautiful. So again, it is subjective because we are all very excited. But do I think the actual shadows in here, if we're strictly talking about the makeup and not like the overall thing, do I think the shadows are worth $250? No. I do not. Now, the refill of 92, that would be a little more maybe bearable, but even the 92, I still don't think that that compares to the pigmentation in the regular Pat McGrath. So for the eyeshadow palette, again, packaging A+, beautiful. The eyeshadows not as pigmented as I would have liked. Okay, sorry. All right, let's go to the balm. The balm packaging, once again, very weighted, very beautiful, but I was disappointed in the balm. I thought I would get a little hint of color. I thought I would feel a little more hydration. The only thing that really stood out to me with this was the smoothing. It did give me a really nice, like, smoothing sensation. So, again, you know, take what you will with the feedback that I'm giving on what you would like to buy. Now let's talk about the lipstick. I would have to say that out of like all of these, I personally would recommend the lipstick. Before I swatched any of these, I thought my recommendation to you was going to be like, if you purchase anything, purchase the balm. Maybe if you pick another color, they're better. But like my recommendation is going to be the lipstick, because like this color, I love it. I think it's so beautiful. really, really comfortable to wear. I think it's a good everyday shade. The packaging is so beautiful. I love that it has this little LV logo. You have the refillable case. It comes in so many shades. I also love that you can get matte or satin depending on your preference. So I would say if you're going to pick up anything, the order for me would probably be pick up a lipstick, then the eyeshadow, then the balm. The balm was probably like the most disappointing for me, but either way, she definitely did a beautiful job with the packaging on this. It is like so incredibly stunning, but the eyeshadow could be a little more pigmented in my opinion. So I know I've been talking a lot. To sum it up, if I were to recommend one thing to buy, in my opinion, it would be the lipstick. I definitely think I'm going to wear this lipstick quite a bit. Especially if you get a good everyday shade. It's so, so beautiful. So anyway, oh my gosh, I know this video is probably going to be long, but I really wanted to try to give you as much detail as I could. And again, I didn't watch any other videos. I'm trying to give you like my initial impression. So because of that, if you did purchase the makeup or you have watched other reviews or anything like that, I would love to hear your feedback. What are some other people saying? Again, the balm situation, it could just be the color that I chose. You know, how do you like the lipstick? Are the other colors beautiful? And then what was your impression of the eyeshadow? You can't beat this packaging. It is so stunning. I did think they were blendable, but just I expected the typical Pat McGrath pigmentation, and I just didn't get that for the price. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave me a comment down below, or I'd love to have you follow me on Instagram as well. Thank you guys so much for coming along and watching. Make sure you hit that little subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and I would love to have you follow me on Instagram as well. Have a lovely day, my friends, and I'll see you in my next video.